Business as usual on the streets of LA. The downtown area was carved up into territories between criminal gangs. Small-time thieves who only recently lived off thefts from cars and are bumped up to mafia lieutenants. Their duties include shop racketeering, drug traffic, prostitution and gambling business. Overseeing brothels, the production and distribution of false driver's licenses, health insurance cards, and labor permits for illegal aliens is another day's work. Cutting each other's throats and paying off old schools is a way of life. The mafia does not forget and does not forgive. Total accountability for everything in an atmosphere of military discipline and strict hierarchy. Following Kelton's mysterious disappearance from LA, rumors begin to circulate in crime rings. It seems that the old cop has disappeared after making off with duffel bags full of cash from a failed bank robbery site in downtown. With police bearing down on a gang putting up a fierce resistance, Kelton was seen hanging around the robber's car loaded with the bags of cash. After the gang was taken down, somehow bags of cash disappeared, as did Kelton.
Frequently emerging on crime sites with the police, Kelton monitors police dispatch center transmissions by way of knowing all the old police codes by heart. 187, that's a homicide. 211, that's a robbery. 261, rape. Kelton has all this information right at his fingertips. Following that, mafia channels received reliable information from the mayor of a town in the heartland regarding a certain policeman of retirement age who, around and about and apparently flush with cash, tries to bribe the mayor. The name of the policeman is Kelton, and he possesses paranormal abilities. Using these abilities, he easily gets on with local zombies. After several face-to-face meetings and phone conversations with mafia bosses, it was decided to promptly send a group of killers to the town. Their orders were to finish off Kelton as payback for all his past deeds against the California underworld.
The outer rim, geographically and economically, of eastern Kentucky. A typical small town with a high poverty level, with defining feature, almost all the inhabitants of the town are zombies, who found their way here seeking eternal existence from all over the US. Each zombie here has its own death story, but their death for some reason only went halfway, and now they are stuck here in Appalachia, somewhere between the dead and the living. You can meet all kinds of zombies here. Pole dancers roasted alive in a nightclub after pyrotechnics explosion. A building supplies store salesgirl. She was shot by a guard when she attacked the general manager with a wood chopper during sun inspection visit. A contemporary dance teacher. The Statue of Liberty stage fell down on him during final rehearsal. A vintage car salesman. He was run down by a blonde during a Cadillac Coupe de Ville test drive. She confused the throttle and the brake pedals.
Following Kelton's arrival onto the scene, the zombies' quality of life quickly declines. The town is run by Mayor for Life, Herman Deutsches, who has presidential aspirations but needs sponsorship and big money for his election campaign. Kelton offers Deutsches some proven plans for transferring money from government funds to private ownership. Kelton had learned of the laundering schemes from undercover LAPD officers who had infiltrated criminal gangs. One of these schemes involves municipal realty fund practices, or more precisely, zombies' homes. Under the guise of housing upgrades, and to show the mayor's concern for his townsfolk, the zombies are moved into supposedly new residential compounds. All of these buildings, in actual fact, are abandoned empty sheds. Kelton's fly-by-night property company buys the released houses at an auction with the mayor's assistance at minimal cost. All the houses are then sold at market price, with earnings split between Kelton and Deutsches. Kelton then plans to funnel several million laundered dollars into Deutsches' campaign fund.
Here is Kelton himself on his fake real estate broker's license, enabling the old cop to flourish in the Appalachian housing market. His bogus ID was produced at a secret printing press belonging to LA Mafia. Several dozen of the zombies are moved from their houses, which were bought by Kelton for pennies at the mayor's fake auctions, then sold for the actual price. The skim was not less than 100% of profit per house. Mayor Deutsches can't help but accept this tempting offer from Kelton and provides official cover for these and other frauds with legal documents and procedures. Under the mayor's cover, Kelton squeezes money from insurance companies for fake car accidents and jacked up body repair fees besides trading pilfered tires and spare parts. For these operations conducted under the cover of night, Deutsches assigns to Kelton some proven professionals from the local zombies. Kelton organizes a Christmas tree plantation. It goes without saying that the zombies work there for free. Mayor Deutsches generates more and more ideas towards his personal enrichment. He invents a special position as fire safety inspector for Kelton. Having set a small fire himself, Kelton then arrives in the nick of time to fight the blaze, sending a huge invoice to the town for his work. Part of this money goes to the mayor as a kickback.
Another of their joint ventures is the experimental state-owned bee yard. The yard is used to raise giant red bees which produce purple honey. Kelton sells this honey to the town at the price of caviar. Sometimes the giant red bees attack Kelton. Frightened, the testy blue knight starts to randomly fire his gun with his eyes closed, and in any case, Kelton believes in shooting in order to motivate the zombies to work a little faster.
Kelton's third eye blind led him to feel danger. He foresees someone looking for him with the intent to kill. He needs to hide and fast. Kelton ceases to appear in public alone. He is followed everywhere by an assistant zombie who also serves as a bodyguard.
The zombie, wielding a red wood chopper, proves an effective bodyguard. One thwack of the wood chopper knocks a century-old oak into bits, inspiring fear in anyone who dares to approach Kelton under the care of such a watchman.
Investigating a crime scene in a shop just attacked by robbers, Kelton understands the killers from LA have arrived in town. Such guests are absolutely persona non grata for Kelton.
As an incentive to the bodyguards, Kelton awards the red wood chopper zombie with the honorary title of Zombie of the Month, placing a promotional video on a big screen on the main street.
Being an avid music lover, Kelton establishes his own label in Appalachia, KTC Records. It promotes his series of compilation albums entitled In Time of My Dying. It features songs dedicated to death, the afterlife, and the miracle of teleportation.
Kelton asks Mayor Deutsches to accompany him with an inconspicuous house, one of those intended for the zombie relocation. Kelton decides to hide out in a secret hideaway until the killers are out of town. His business partner's requests are fulfilled immediately. To his new secret home, Kelton takes only the bare essentials and things precious to him.
In an emergency situation, Kelton uses his remarkable ability to metaphysically transform into another being.
He acquired this ability a few years ago after being kidnapped by LA gangsters to collect ransom money. By resisting, he is forced to spend several days in a car trunk with his legs and arms shackled, with a gag in his mouth. Hovering between life and death, he acquired an ability to be transformed into Keltonova, a kind of zombie policewoman with superhuman capabilities and incredible physical vigor.
Kelton needs a dark, secluded spot after midnight with favorable weather conditions to transform into Keltonova. He is able to secure an abandoned service shop in the Skid Row section. During transformations, he falls into euphoria for several minutes.
The sky above the garage becomes ignited with brilliant aurora borealis.
and local zombies lurk about. Suddenly, they feel something similar to sexual gratification. In a few moments, Keltonova leaves the hangar.
Kelton can only exist in the guise of Keltonova for a limited time. To reverse the transformation back to Kelton, which lasts only 30 seconds, he uses some small out-of-the-way locations in Appalachia.
Immediately upon receiving his laundered money, Hermann Deutsches prints a batch of election banners and hangs them all over the town.
What was it in Kelton's behavior that changed when he transformed into Keltonova? Briefly, it can be described as a sense of beauty domination. Under Keltonova's supervision, a zombie works better and more efficiently. She is a perfect motivator, the paragon of a healthy lifestyle. Keltonova requires that airbags be installed in all vehicles in the town. She organizes professional development extension courses for working zombies and Tai Chi health training. She builds greenhouses to grow exotic flowers from faraway countries. Sitting in a circle around a fire, Keltonova teaches zombies the importance of being a part of a united working team. She hosts disco parties and also organizes a cinema workshop where zombies shoot short films with personal success stories about their work. Some of these films are screened at the Independent Film Festival in Appalachia.
Straight out of the gate, Mayor Deutsches expands his election campaign. The real estate fraud money regularly received from Kelton is invested immediately into agitprop media. Appalachian TV starts running promotional videos around the clock, praising Deutsch's fine leadership qualities: responsible, friendly, trustworthy, and enthusiastic. Deutsches includes Kelton and Keltonova in his TV ads, thus emphasizing the support he received from such respected citizens as policemen and firefighters. An effective youth leader, say the TV commercials. Zombies tell their success stories under the leadership and patronage of Mayor Deutsches. How good their life is thanks to Deutsches, which will be even better when he becomes president. Despite the success of the campaign in town, Deutsches realizes it would not go beyond Appalachia without the support of the California Mafia. Therefore, he maintains regular contact with the LA Mafia boss. A cord is placed to the mayor at a certain phone booth at a certain time.
After a long journey, the killers arrive at the location to meet Kelton. Their car becomes a magnet for the zombies right off the bat. Wherever it's parked, the zombies surround it. The zombie who had been a vintage car salesman in his earlier life was a particular pain in the neck. This one constantly tries to open the trunk or tear off the rear bumper. The zombies became a problem. As a safety measure, the killers buy a zombie detection radar device on the black market. It can find a zombie within a radius of 300 feet. They are also able to frighten zombies by using the worst type of profanity used by street thugs, which freezes them for some moments.
The killers devise a master plan called the KELTON Marathon. It is a continuous 24-hour operation to locate and exterminate that old cop.
2 hours per day per man were allowed for sleep according to the schedule. The first one sleeps, the second one safeguards him, the third one patrols the area by car looking for Kelton.
By nightfall, more zombies come out into the streets. They become more active after sunset. During a shop robbery, the killer thought it was a security guard trying to attack him, but it was a zombie passing by. The zombie was attracted by the sunglasses that the killer was wearing. The killers also used a notepad retrieved from Kelton to find him. It was ascertained that some pictures were drawn from life, meaning that Kelton had been in these locations beforehand. Knowing them well therefore enables the wily ex-crime fighter to hide out there undetected.
The zombie with the red chopper becomes a real threat. The killers have to run for their lives from this one a few times, unaware that this particular zombie is actually Kelton's bodyguard. Kelton is well aware of their presence and is watching their every move.
A big-time scammer was sent to Appalachia as backup for the killer's gang. As a retirement benefit scam specialist, she places an announcement on a local newspaper concerning free Caribbean cruises for police veterans. Being well aware of Kelton's greed, she is sure that he will take the bait.
She also joins in the hunt for Kelton by acting as the wife of one of the killers. It is thought that a killer with an accomplice disguised as his wife will conceal their real intentions more effectively.
The hunt continues painstakingly from house to house. Finally, have their first break in the case. A stray dog fed by the killers brings back a police badge which belongs to Kelton. It means that Kelton was somewhere nearby. Something scared him off, causing him to run away quickly and lose his badge. The killers feel that their search is narrowing as new leads are discovered.
Killers decide to organize a zombie town hall meeting to discuss the new social benefits and affordable housing community program. One of the killers, under the guise of a charity construction fund representative, rounds the zombies up to attend the meeting, where they can access much useful information. The killers, learning about this strange mass migration of zombies from private houses to shacks in the outskirts of town, they smell a rat in a blue uniform. They hope to discover Kelton's role in this activity as well as his location.
In trying to arrange a town hall meeting, some unexpected difficulties arise. It turns out that the zombies have no clue about social programs and affordable housing. Eventually, one of the killers flies off the handle and lectures a zombie on how the word parking is written with only one P and not PPP parking.
The other two killers nearly go berserk. Sleepless nights, alcohol, powerful stimulants, and unceasing skirmishes with the zombies take their toll. Any situation, even the least threatening ones, can end up in cruelty and violence, two guns blazing and with intent to kill. After a series of shooting incidents, the community at large is alerted to these extremely dangerous criminals.
Take a good look at their faces. An assassin, a rapist, a robber.
If you run into these criminals, notify Mayor Deutsches immediately so that urgent measures to protect our community can be taken.
It becomes clear that Kelton is behind these mugshots, so the killers decide to change their strategy. One of them disguises himself as a zombie hockey goalie killed by a puck hitting his forehead after an extremely powerful slashing slap shot. Their plan? To infiltrate the local zombie community under the guise of an insider, to discover Kelton's location.
Unfortunately, the first person he meets up with is Keltonova, who knows the names of all the local zombies by heart. The killer introduces himself as a new zombie in town, looking for a place to stay.
So you say a puck hit you in the forehead? Well then, come join the club.
Knocked cold, he awakens somewhere in a tire. Following that, the killers drop their plan to infiltrate the zombie community.
The hunt is underway. They find the empty hangar where Kelton secretly transforms to Keltonova. They ask, "What are those mysterious multicolored flashes in the sky?"
The killers can't figure out the reason behind this phenomena, so they decide to leave one of them behind enemy lines to monitor the situation in the event that Kelton shows up.
When their supply of stimulants was exhausted, they had to seek out local dealers for their dope, two of them which they located in town. One of them was called Ho, another one was Spade. Both have select and very strong product, in a phrase, made in Appalachia. Even a small overdose is guaranteed persistent hallucinosis and euphoric haze for 24 hours minimum. Ho and Spade work in keen competition with each other, particularly when the new and rich customer shows up. Deadly clashes between them erupted regularly, freaking out their prospective buyers, sometimes right in front of their hallucinating customers.
Kelton can't keep his nose out of the local drug business, having profited handsomely by laying tribute on junkie pushers in Los Angeles. Kelton, having made a protection proposal to Ho some time back, he's turned away.
Ho, not wanting to cut anyone else in, Spade hopes that Kelton would put down Ho, thereby allowing Spade to monitor the sector.
Spade, of course, could put down Ho with no assistance, but is fearful of starting a big drug dealer turf war, which could potentially lead to a lose-lose situation. Drug dealers have a well-developed strategic way of thinking.
There is a reason behind the nickname Ho. This drug dealer is known for the ability to cut anyone into pieces in self-defense using his garden hoe, utilizing martial arts. Then in 5 minutes, a hole is scratched into the ground to bury the aggressor's remains so that no one will find them.
The rockabilly zombie has the habit of coming to Ho's house and demanding drug service on credit. He has a waking dream that Ho lives in the compartment of a spacecraft, about to leave the Earth, condemning the rockabilly zombie to the mercy of fate. The other zombies don't like hanging out with rockabilly, who sings the same mournful song day after day after day.
An invitation to Mayor Deutsch's presidential nomination party is received by the killers out of the blue. Deutsch's guarantees them immunity. The password for the party is President Nixon's farewell gesture, raised hands and double V signs.
The mayor's party is at gas. Drug dealers Ho and Spade fire the guests up so hot they're burning out of control, with everyone running up and down the stairway like scared cats doing a wild dance for hours.
The killers hope to meet up with Kelton, having seen his face was on Deutsch's campaign banners, but not even a trace of Kelton is found. It seems like something has occurred recently between Deutsch's and Kelton. This is what happened. During the last telephone conversation between Deutsch's and the mafia boss, the mayor was advised to assist 3 good friends who were tourists from LA to find Kelton. These are the ones who had recently arrived in Deutsch's town in a beautiful car. Deutsch's quickly comes to realize the situation. Kelton already sticks in his gizzard with his endless frauds and small kickbacks. The mayor needs his old fart Kelton and his long trail of various sins like he needs rope burns.
Having received the address of Kelton's secret hideout from Deutsch's, the killers decide to drive there straight from the party.
This is it, the nondescript house. It's located in Red House Zombie Villa. Peaceful and quiet, it may convey, but there's something very fishy. None of Kelton's guards are lurking.
There's the red wood chopper. There's a freshly felled oak. But there's no zombie with a chopper. Is Kelton there? The house is empty. The killers are surprised at how Kelton managed to create the interior exactly the way he had it in LA. There's the same old tube radio. He always listens to the baseball games broadcast on AM. A vintage roll film camera. He loves to shoot birds. A guitar with no strings. He's been wanting to learn to play that guitar his whole life. A wooden Indian head. The killers recognize it from the drawing in Kelton's notebook. It all looks like a junk shop, but where is Kelton?
And what about Deutsch's? Is he playing both sides against each other? The killers remember what else Deutsch's told them about Kelton during the party. He said something about a seafood restaurant close to the boat pier. That's it. If Kelton is not at home, just check the seafood restaurant. Get down there immediately. After the party at the mayor's house, the killers have a lot of stuff in their pockets. Ho and Spade were surprisingly generous, presumably the direction of Deutsch's.
So why don't we get totally wasted? We're gonna rub Kelton out anyways. Yeah, that's a reason to celebrate now. Okay, So, here we are. The boats and the seafood restaurants are over there.
Don't come too close to the entrance. You'll frighten Kelton away. Park the car off to the side. It's fine here. And go over by the water's edge.
Turn off the engine. Get your guns ready. Let's cover all 3 entrances. The porch, the kitchen, and the driveway. Surprise and coordination is a must.
Look, no one's here. It's empty. The kitchen is closed. No tables. It's deserted. No Kelton.
Look, no one's here. It's
No.
empty.
Kelton,
Oh, he escaped again. What an asshole.
foiled by Kelton, the cop, once again, leaving insult to injury. The restaurant leaves us mugs with the images of Kelton and Keltonova on it.